For our capstone project, the problem description that we were given was to build an automated greenhouse to help with food insecurity. Our client is from the company GrowCery in Anderson, Indiana. So he wanted to use an automated greenhouse system as a teaching tool for students. The goal would be to make it larger scale and actually assist with helping food insecurity. There are two compartments of the greenhouse. The first one houses all the electrical software. So we have an Arduino which controls the fan right here. It controls the temperature and humidity sensor. It controls the lights at the top. And then it also controls a pump which is in the reservoir down here. Basically, the Arduino works by using the temperature and humidity sensor, and when the temperature reaches a certain temperature, the fan switches on. It also runs the lights, so the lights are usually on 12 hours, off 12 hours. It controls the pump. Usually the pump would flow 6 times a day, and so it goes for 70 seconds, enough to basically fill the roots, soak them, and then drains. And this is called an ebb and flow method.
When we started the project, we wanted to grow our own lettuce plants and eventually transport it. Now, none of us had experience really growing lettuce plants and making it to that full scale. So I guess understanding the hydroponic system and the maturity level the plants needed in order for the transplanting was a little bit hard. And we didn't have too much time and the equipment because we were still building the greenhouse, but trying to get the plants germinated. So eventually we end up going to a grocery store and buying smaller lettuce plants, and that's what you see today. They've grown, they've flourished, and the greenhouse has provided a great environment for them to grow. And the nutrients that we've provided is a nitrogen-rich fertilizer, and so we put it with the water, and each time the water floods the plants, this nutrient is given to the plants in order to help it grow. Most plants are in soil, and so soil has natural nutrients. Since this doesn't really have soil and the root systems are exposed, we needed to have a supplement in order for the roots to get that nutrition that they need. Some of the other struggles that we had was the plexiglass. We didn't really have the equipment to cut the plexiglass, and plexiglass is very fragile. And so when we went to the Home Depot and Lowe's, they had these huge sheets of plexiglass, and so we had to cut it, and we had to cut some openings for the electronics to get in. A couple of times we ended up cracking the plexiglass, having to buy more and figuring out the right way to properly cut it so that it could fit 80-20 and so that the pieces would fit nicely. And a nice component about this greenhouse is that it opens, and we have a magnetic strip. So it's easy for someone to clean it, to take the lettuce plants out, to look at them, to also check on them. We also have the pump down there, which controls when the water goes up and when it falls back down. Another struggle that we had was the coding. We didn't really have a lot of experienced team members with coding on this project, so we really put our heads together and try to figure out, the type of features that we wanted to include, what was most important, and how we were going to execute on that. When I was in high school, I was in Girl Scouts. For my Girl Scout project, I worked on delivering backpacks to a school in Nepal that had been affected by the earthquake that happened in 2015. With this project, there was a lot of logistics involved, a lot of purchasing, a lot of keeping track of inventory, which has to do a lot with my major today. I'm in industrial engineering technology. And so learning these skills when I was in high school, I did my project when I was a sophomore, I figured I was really good at it. I was really good at the organization, the planning, the purchasing, and figuring out how am I going to get a product from point A to point B. This eventually ended up coming into my career and my time here at Purdue, figuring out that I wanted to do industrial engineering technology. Has a lot to do with going back to those cores and fundamentals that I learned when I was younger, and it's all tied up nicely, and it's just been a really good experience for me to really expand on those points that I really loved and doing when I was in high school. Young women should definitely go into this industry, this field. There's so many opportunities for women, and there aren't a lot of women. And so having that different perspective, having that different aspirations and techniques of doing things, it just really expands, and it adds so much, interest and level into what you're doing. And so it's just been a really great experience being a female and finding other females in the career, I've just created so many relationships and bonds, and it's a really great community and an awesome experience when you're working with another female along your side and you come up with a product that other people really like and you get that recognition and it feels really good.
In high school, my strong subjects were always science and math, which could go into a lot of different industries. So I had to take some time to figure out which industry I could use those skills that I feel confident in and also enjoy it. I was kind of drawn to the Polytech school when I came to Purdue because it is STEM, but it's also very hands-on, which is something that I just really enjoy. Women in high school should consider coming into technology fields at any school because it's truly very empowering to be in a field where you don't see very many women entering it. It definitely gave me a new feeling of confidence coming into this field that none of my friends really are in, not many girls in general. It's allowed me to build relationships with other women in the field, but also with men in the field, and just kind of learn that business relationship. And it's really just been a great experience. I've learned so much, and I wish I had known that this is what I wanted to do sooner.